Hollywood, the Jack Benny Program, with his special guest, Lucille Ball.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Now, I know you're wondering why I'm dressed like this. Well, when I wear tails, you know it must be important. See? And as a matter of fact, I've only worn this outfit on 2 other occasions. The first one was when I gave a violin concert in Carnegie Hall. Right? And the second time was when I did a benefit for the DCA. That's the Dry Cleaners Association. I thought I owed it to them, considering the wonderful job they did on this suit after the violin concert. They not only removed the stains, but they re-wove the bullet hole. And those were the only times that there was one other time I was dressed in this outfit. Well, that was a mistake. Boy, was my doctor embarrassed when I sat up. I would have gotten up sooner, but they were, you know, saying such nice things about me. Georgie Jessel still calls me a point killer. And now I'm going to tell you the reason I'm dressed in this formal attire tonight. It's because I have as my guest star someone who has for many years been recognized as the First Lady of television. And I felt it was only proper to receive her with the dignity and the respect that she deserves. And here she is, Miss Lucille Ball. Lucy!
What?
Lucy, what kind of an entrance is that?
Well, this is a comedy show, isn't it?
Well, yes, but you didn't have to dress this way.
You mean I pulled out these teeth for nothing?
Lucy, the reason I dress like this is because I figured you'd come out, you know, in a beautiful gown.
You mean I did something wrong?
Well, it's not that serious.
Oh, yes, it is, Jack. It's terrible on me. I should have known better. I didn't know you were a dramatic actor. You never told me that.
Lucy,
Ah!
Oh, don't...
I feel terrible, Jack.
What?
I got a lousy laugh and ruined your whole evening. Ah.
Lucy, please.
You hate me.
I don't hate you. I never hate people. I'm a nice guy. I've always been kind and considerate.
Yeah, well, that's what Jessel said the last time you wore that suit.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, will you stop crying?
I can't help it, Jack. Mothballs.
Now stop being silly, Lucy, and please do me a favor.
What?
Go change and come out dressed the way I want you to.
Well, all right, Jack.
For that, I got dressed like this. What a nut. Well, it'll take her a few minutes to change. So in order to fill in the time, I'm going to tell you one of the funniest stories. I think it is one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. As a matter of fact, it was told to me this afternoon by the man who operates the sound boom. That fella right over there. Charlie, do you mind if I tell that story you told me today?
Oh, no, Mr. Benny. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Well, it seems there was a woman who was riding on a bus in Dublin, you see, and she was sitting there with her baby in her arms, and there was a man sitting beside her. What?
The man wasn't sitting beside her. He just got on the bus.
Oh, that's right.
And it wasn't in Dublin. It was London.
Well, anyway, this fella got on, and he kept looking at this woman with her ugly baby. And finally he said to her, "Madam, I hate to tell you this, but you have the ugliest baby I have ever seen." Well, naturally, the woman was very upset at a thing like that, so she got off the bus.
No. She didn't get off the bus. She just sat there and cried.
Yeah, she was so upset when the man told her she had the ugliest baby he'd ever seen that she sat there and cried, you see? And then finally she got off the bus.
No! She didn't get off the bus. She was crying so hard the driver put her off the bus. Shoot!
All right, the driver, what's the difference? The driver put her off the bus, and while she was sitting on the bench holding her baby and crying, a fella came down the street and said to her, "Madam, what's the matter?" Well, she was crying so hard she couldn't tell him. So the man thought she'd feel better if he got her a drink of water. So he went into the drugstore.
It wasn't a drugstore! Wait a minute. You're gonna tell a story, tell it right. Now, here's how it goes. When the fella got on the bus, he said to the woman, "Madam, I hate to tell you this, but you have, without a doubt, the ugliest baby I have ever seen." With that, the woman began crying so loudly that the bus driver threw her off the bus. Well, she sat down on the bench with the baby in her arms, and she cried and cried until another gentleman came along and asked her what was the matter. And she said, Then, thinking she might feel better if she had a drink, he stepped into a pub and he came out and he said, "Here, madam, here's a spot of brandy for you. If you drink it, you'll feel better. And look, I also brought a banana for the monkey." That's the way to tell a story. Big comedian. Shoot.
I don't know why I hire people with talent.
Jack, dear, I'm ready.
Oh, good. And now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the First Lady of Television, Miss Lucille Ball. Lucy, that's what I wanted in the first place. Doesn't she look beautiful? Huh?
Thank you. What are they laughing at?
Oh, for heaven's sake, you forgot to take the black off your teeth. Now you can applaud. I must say you look beautiful in that gown.
Well, thank you, Jack, and you look wonderful in your white tie and tails. But you know, that was a silly story that you told about being shot while you were playing your violin at Carnegie Hall.
No, that wasn't just a story.
Oh, you're kidding.
I really did get shot in Carnegie Hall. If you look closely here, you can still see where they rewove the bullet hole. It's right about there.
You were shot in the back?
It was one of the fellas in the orchestra.
Oh, well, that that's understandable.
Certainly. You know, ladies and gentlemen, this girl amazes me.
Why?
Well, the way she sings, dances, and clowns around, it's hard to believe that she's also a big executive.
Oh, come now. What's so amazing about it? A lot of women have made big careers for themselves, and in almost every field. You know, there are women doctors, lawyers, politicians.
Well, yes.
You know, women have always been important all through history. You weren't aware of it because men wrote the history books. Do you know they only gave 3 little lines to a woman like Molly Pitcher?
Well, now, wait a minute. You wouldn't compare Molly Pitcher with men like Patrick Henry, Thomas Jefferson, Paul Revere.
Paul Revere. You mean that Paul Revere who made that ride that Longfellow made such a big thing about?
Yes.
Well, dear, since you brought it up, let me tell you the true story behind Paul Revere's ride.
True story?
Yes.
You mean to tell me all this stuff we've been reading in the books isn't true?
Well, let me tell you what really happened. Now, it was in the year 1775. You see, Paul happened to be married to a very lovely woman named Rachel. And one night she was all alone waiting for Paul to come home.
9 o'clock in the world.
9 o'clock. Where is that husband of mine? Night after night he goes out. Why isn't he home with me where he belongs?
Mrs. Revere!
Oh, Betsy Ross, come in, dear.
Oh, thank you. I just came by to show you the new dress I just made.
Oh! Beautiful. I love it.
I even have a piece of material left over. I hope I can think of something to do with it.
Say, I know. Why don't you give it to one of those 3 fellas that we saw on the parade yesterday?
Why should I give it to them?
Well, the ones in the middle, you know, the ones with the fife and the drums, they were all right. But the one in the middle just looked ridiculous waving that empty pole.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think so.
Yeah. Listen, by the way, Mrs. Revere, where's Paul?
Oh, that's what I'd like to know. He's probably out gallivanting around again.
Oh, now, Mrs. Revere, you gotta trust your husband.
Trust him. Ha! A few weeks ago, he told me that he was at a tea party in Boston, and I found out that he was on a wild wingding on a boat.
Mrs. Revere, you cannot have a happy marriage with all this suspicion and jealousy. Now, you gotta give your husband a chance. You gotta believe in him.
Well, maybe you're right.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go now.
Well, I'm awful glad you came over, Betsy. I just love that dress.
You really do.
I love those stars and stripes.
Oh.
You come by anytime, honey.
I will.
Wonderful
Bye.
seeing you. Bye, Betsy. Come again. Oh, dear, Betsy is right. When Paul comes home, I'm just not going to be jealous. I'm just going to control myself. So he's a little late. Doesn't mean anything. I'm going to be an understanding wife.
Hello, Rachel, dear.
Where have you been?
Rachel.
Don't Rachel me. What wild party were you on this time?
Dear, I told you I went to a meeting at the town hall.
A meeting. What was her name?
No, dear, it was a meeting. You see, the British are planning to invade, and we're preparing to fight them all.
A likely story.
No, it's the truth. Honey, believe me, it's the truth. I was at a meeting with a group of fellow patriots.
Oh, yeah? Well, what's this long platinum hair doing on your coat?
That's George Washington.
George Washington's.
When he found out the British might attack, he cried on my shoulder.
Well, I don't believe you.
What do you mean you don't believe me? Listen, only last week, my best friend told you that's where I go. I go to the meeting. Certainly you believe him, my best friend.
Well, maybe I should. After all, who can you trust if you can't trust Benedict Arnold?
Certainly. Benji never did a dishonest thing in his life.
That's true.
Now kiss me and let's forget all about it.
All right, doll.
Gosh, you smell good.
Well, thank you, dear. I'm glad you like it. I changed my brand of snuff.
Well, I do like it, dear.
I'm glad. Why don't you sit down, dear?
Yes.
You must be tired. You know, darling, I don't know why I'm always accusing you. I'm sorry that I'm always jealous. There's no reason for me to be jealous. I know I'm the only one you ever think of. I know that I'm the only woman in your life.
Certainly, dear.
Oh, from now on, I promise I'm not going to suspect you or be jealous of you ever again.
Good. Well, I think I'll get ready for dinner.
All right, dear.
Hello, Dolly. Oh, hello.
So that's who it is, Dolly Madison.
It's not Dolly Madison. This is a song that hasn't even been written yet. Oh, George, come in. Dear, you know George Washington.
Hello, George.
Hello, Rachel. Paul, I hate to disturb you at this hour, but do you have a silver dollar?
A silver dollar, why?
Well, I've been trying to throw this over the river, but the wind keeps blowing it back.
Well, let me see. I have one here someplace, I think. I thought I had one here. Here someplace. Someplace I got a dollar. George, what happened?
I cannot tell a lie. I'm bald.
Well, here's your dollar.
Thank you. I'll return this tomorrow. Well, Rachel, I've had a hard day today. I'm going to lie down for a while and rest.
All right, dear, you do that. I'll sit here and knit for a while.
Okay. And Rachel...
What?
Oh, I'm so tired. Rachel, you must learn to trust me a
All
little
right,
more.
dear. From now on, I will never mistrust you again.
Good, good. Oh, I'm so tired what a day I had
Well,
today.
you're tired, dear. You don't get enough food at those tea parties.
So tired that I don't know. I don't...
o'clock and all's well. Paul!
What is it?
The British are coming. There was one light in the church tower. That means they're coming by land. You've got to warn the people. Get on your horse and ride through every Middlesex village and farm.
Good. I'll go right away.
Right.
Easy, Dobbin, easy. There we are. Giddy out. The British are coming. The British are coming.
you think you were going?
What do you mean, where'd I think I was going? I have a mission to do. I have to ride through the streets hollering, the British are coming.
You have to holler?
Yes, I have to holler.
So go ahead, holler.
But I can't do it here. I'm supposed to get on my horse and ride through the countryside.
You are not setting foot out of this house tonight.
But, Rachel, I must go. Don't you understand? There's a light burning in the steeple of the Old North Church.
Well, let it burn. You're not paying the bill.
Now, listen, I'm not going to stand here arguing with you. I'm going.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, and I'm going to go right now, too.
Oh, what are you doing lying here? The British are coming!
What?
The British are coming!
You mean he was telling the truth?
Yes, he was supposed to ride through every village and farm and warn the people. We decided that at the town meeting.
Oh, my goodness, and he was telling the truth all the time. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll get him started right away. I'll get him started right away. Yes, Paul. Paul, wake up. Oh, Paul, you've got to wake up. Oh, Paul, I'm so sorry. Oh, Paul. Paul, wake up. Oh, you gotta listen to me.
What happened?
The British are coming.
Well, that's what I've been trying to tell you.
You gotta get up. You gotta go. And you gotta get on your horse. And you gotta gallop through every Middlesex farm and village. And you gotta warn the people.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Kiss me. What was the name of that snuff?
Okay.
Easy, Dobbin, easy. There we are. Giddy up. The British are coming.
You tell 'em, Paul, baby. How do you like that? I forgot to untie the rope. Paul! Oh, Paul! Oh, my goodness, he's really knocked out. There's no time to lose. I'll have to warn the people. Oh. I better leave him a note. Paul, darling, I am going to warn the people the British are coming. If I'm not back by tomorrow night, cancel my beauty shop appointment. The British are coming! The British are coming! The British are coming!
Well, how do you like that? My wife is making the trip. Well, I hope Longfellow doesn't find out. Ladies and gentlemen, and Lucy, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Well, you're welcome, Jack.
Lucy, take that black stuff off your teeth.
Black stuff, nothing. During the ride, I got him knocked out.
Well, good night, folks. I'll be seeing you soon. Come on, Lucy. Come on.